So hello everybody, welcome back. We continue talking about food. Um, so 2 days ago it was my turn for cooking, and before you ask, yes, the kitchen survived. You know, not according to my mother, but oh hell, it did survive. So anyway, before I continue, I wanted to remind you that down below is my email. In case that you want to help me out, you can do that through an Amazon gift card or a PayPal account. And anyway, so things that you might want to consider when about the food. Number one, a lot of people when they are learning how the hell to use certain new condiments or new brands or new seasoning and stuff like that, they screw up. And then you have food that you just prepare that might be unedible because it is too salty. Now, don't throw it away. What you do is that thing that is salty, depending upon what it is, you can actually try to cut them into small, very, very small, tiny pieces, like, the smallest thing that you can think of. And then you can recook them. And then you can add a little bit of a spicy sauce, or you can add something a little bit sweet, depending upon what you want to do with that. And then you can freeze it. And you freeze it in the containers that are for ice cubes. So if you are a small family, like 2 or 3 people, then you don't feel the entire ice cube. Obviously, you're going to feel like half. And that way, next time that you're cooking, depending upon the flavor that you kind of obtain at that point, you can use that and prepare it with meat or some vegetables. And that way you will have seasoning for, a long time, because you're going to freeze it. The downside of this is that the food is going to kind of taste the same for a little while. Another disadvantage of you being organized in the kitchen, because there are people that are very, very organized in the kitchen. I have several friends and aunts that are like that. So for example, if you go shopping today, you cut everything tomorrow, and then you prepare everything the way that I just told you. You just freeze it entirely. Like, you prepare all the peppers, all the onions, whatever it is, you freeze them all together and stuff like that, and then you place them in containers so that when you're cooking, they are ready. The downside of that is, like I said, that every time that you cook, it will taste kind of the same because you're using the same formula. So at that point, what you want to try is adding something else, Sorry, I got interrupted. Anyway, what you want to try is a new kind of sauce that you can make yourself, depending upon the taste that you prefer. Some people prefer sweet and sour. Other people prefer spicy. Other people prefer, sweet kind of things made out with fruits and stuff like that. When I went to Europe, I tasted a hell of a lot of meats that were prepared with plums and raisins and things like that. Oh, those things were like amazing. It just, and at that point you might want to separate those ingredients and put them apart, so that if you are the person that does all the work, only once, so that you don't have to do it daily, then you might want to try adding something like that to that, so that the taste is kind of different and it's not going to be the same. Anyway, besides that, you want to learn how to make your own mayo. The secret to that one is being extremely, and I do mean extremely patient when you're adding the freaking oil. I have tasted mayo in, Asia, Europe, and in US, and in other Latin countries, and in here, and I can tell you right now that, oh hell no, no. My dead grandmother's mayo, oh my god, that was like an entirely different kind of level. Even when people made the same thing with the same ingredients whatsoever, oh hell no, they didn't have that texture that made it feel heavenly. And I do mean heavenly. So, my mother did the mayo thing, and my grandmother went like, what the hell are you doing? Because, my mom went like that with the freaking oil. No, 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 hell no. My grandmother went like, let's say that this is the container for the oil, right? You put it like that. Oh, hell no. My grandmother went like this, like this, like this, like this. Very. It was like, oh my God, I swear to God, it was like a very patient kind of thing. It will take a long time. Crap. But, she said, don't rush it. Use breathe. And she took like, I don't know, 5 minutes trying to pour the freaking oil until it got into the right perfect, and I do mean perfect texture. And then, you will know because you add the oil very slowly. If you add it kind of fast, yeah, your mayo is never going to be the same texture as it is supposed to be. So anyway, at that point, you can play around with the texture thing. Other things that I have been getting about food is how to deal with the part about bribing. If you can use food for bribing. This one is kind of difficult because here's the deal. When you get technicians or gardeners in your house, you have to pay them very well with money and give them a little bit of water, or you can pay them less cash, but you can treat them better by providing a small breakfast, as in, maybe like a sandwich and, like a snack or something very fast and kind of not that feeling. Coffee, then, a snack, and then lunch. Lunch can be anything, and I do mean anything. And then other coffee, and then an extra snack, because they're going to be working in your house the whole entire day, right? Depending upon the size of your house. So at that point, if they are charging $25 to other people, they might charge you $10, and also they will remember you. So if you ask for something else, like planting trees that they were not, you're not paying for that job, but since you're providing food, you can ask them, please move this for me, or please change this light bulb for me because I can't, please do this for me, as long as it is not, too big of a job that you should hire somebody else. And as long as, it's not like something that it becomes like every time that you hire them, they have to do this, It's like, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to tell you, please help me out with this. It will take you 5 minutes, and it shouldn't take them literally more than 10 minutes, because if they already did their job, they can only help you for about 5 to 10 minutes, and they will do it gladly because you are being generous in the sense that you're providing food and you're providing, other things. At this point, I can tell you right now that in my house, if you come to my house and there is no cake or no sweet or not something that my mother did, like we collect passion fruit, so she prepares passion fruit sweet. We have papaya, so she's preparing papaya sweet thing. Whatever the hell we are collecting for the garden, she will prepare it, into a sweet or something, and then she will give these to the people that come here and work here. And obviously, the thing that you cannot be without, and this is like a non-negotiable. If somebody comes to your house and you don't have coffee, My God, that will be like you are extremely really very poor or something like that. So no, hell no, you can't be in your house without coffee. And you always are supposed to prepare coffee, and you're always supposed to prepare some sort of hot tea or something in case that the people don't like coffee. If they don't like coffee, they will tell you, do you have this for that, whatever. But the point is that you need to ask the gardeners and the technician, because also if they are diabetic and you put sugar in the coffee or whatever, they're not going to drink it. So you need to ask, and because the thing is that if you leave the sugar for them to put the sugar in them, yeah, you're going to run out of the sugar immediately, because most people, most people at this point, I can assure you that most people don't have sugar in the house. They will have coffee, but they will never have sugar. So if all of a sudden you leave the sugar thing next to them, oh hell, they are going to put like 2 or 3 spoons of sugar in each coffee, because they haven't tasted sugar in a while, because sugar is something that is kind of expensive and most of the time you can't find it. So oh hell no, nobody, sugar is one of those things, like I said, because it's very, very valuable. And most people try to save it, because there is a point in which you will not be able to find any sugar. Now, if sugar is available and everybody has it, and you are okay about getting more sugar, then sure, put the sugar thing so that they can put whatever the hell they want into their coffee. But otherwise, you ask, do you want to have a little bit of sugar in your coffee, or are you diabetic? The same with when you're preparing juices or when you are preparing, anything. Because if you have guests and they are diabetic and everybody else is drinking and you prepare nothing for them because you didn't think about it, yeah, they are going to be kind of like, what, kind of like that. So no, you gotta be conscious of the fact that not everybody can drink the same things that you can. Now, in terms of preparing these things for somebody that is doing you a favor, like your neighbor, By the way, we don't have just papaya and passion fruit in my case. My neighbor comes here and he bring, oh crap, these past 10 days, I think he has brought about 45 mangoes and about 25 avocados. But when he brings the avocados, there is one particular tree of avocado that he has. Avocado here is weird because I think he has the only plant in the entire city that produces this kind of avocado. I have never, ever seen that kind of avocado anywhere. And he has a friend that works with how do you put it? He works with agricultural industry thing, and he came here and tried to figure out what the hell his brand of avocado is, and not even he knew what the hell that thing is. It's some sort of natural hybrid thing. My God, but those avocados, yeah. Neighbors fight for that avocado, and also people steal avocado from his house. And oh crap, he has been into fights with everybody because of that thing. So it's like, that avocado, try to imagine the perfect avocado. And I do mean perfect avocado. The one that you just touch, and as soon as you touch with your nail, you can peel it. And it will be completely green, and it will be buttery kind of texture. And it will be, this big, like oh crap, those things are like maybe 1.5 kilos, some of them, and oh crap, and by the way, if you tear them from the plant, from the tree, they will be ready the next day, every single time that you do that. So if you want to eat avocado tomorrow, all you have to do is grab that thing and it will be ready by tomorrow. So, oh hell no, those avocados are yeah. So he has a hell of a lot of problems because of that. So what he does is that he brings, he loses about 40, maybe 50% of whatever the hell avocados that plant produces because of people stealing it. And I don't mean that amount, probably a little bit more. I'm being conservative. And I don't mean that. I mean, because that, an avocado plant can give you probably around 400 avocados. So, oh hell, we don't even get that much. And this year something weird happened to his garden. It didn't produce that much. I don't know. Anyway, point being that people will steal the avocados from him. So what he did is that he brings the avocados to us, and then he says, you deliver the avocado to everybody else. So we got like 20 something, and then we, of course we are knocking on everybody's door saying, here you can have 2 avocados, you can have 2 avocados, you can have 2 avocados, to all the neighbors that are his friends. So, and the people are also, in touch with us, and then they are trading plants and avocados and other things with us because, the people that taste this avocado, they have plants that are avocados that are different. So sometimes we give them this one and they give us the ones that they are in the house. There are ones that we are, there are avocados that are weird because they are, they're like a baseball ball. They don't look like a pear. They look like a literal baseball thing. And as soon as you open it, the only avocado there is literally like half of my finger. And the thing is, it's mostly seed. It's not even, whatever. We call it tapara. We're like, what the hell? But the taste of that avocado is different. So that one is mostly used for doing avocado oil. So, it's not for spreading or buttery thing like the other one. So, I don't know, you will find that when people are doing their own gardenings, they will come up with weird varieties of the same thing, and you can trade with them, and it will be like you will have somebody that their fruit or their vegetable or something, it tastes better and it's different and nobody knows why and nobody knows what the hell, and people think it's because of the land or whatever. At the end you probably will never know, but the point is that you can trade using whatever you have in your garden to produce fruits into these canned things and whatever. And give me a minute. And you gotta learn how to prepare it, and if you learn how to prepare these in several jars, you can give those as trading, and you can do those as bribing in a certain way. So, for example, let's say that you are trying to get into a bank, and obviously you are not going to pay this person to be in the bank because the line to try to get to the bank is 40 people outside, but the security guard can let you in. So you could theoretically get into the bank by giving this security guard those kind of sweets because those are very expensive, or a cake or something that looks apart. However, you will not say something like, hey, here's the thing that for the favor or whatever. Oh, hell no. You will say something like, Miss Anna sent me, here is your cake. Do you have the payment for her? You will act like a delivery person. You're not saying that you are getting in there just because he's doing you a favor. It will have to look kind of like you are selling it to him, and then, you say something like, can I come in for the payment? Do you have the money or something? And then other people will think, yeah, he's buying it, because, and if you look a little bit like that part, like a delivery person, then it's perfect. So it can be done like that. In fact, a hell of a lot of people do exactly that. And there is no way that somebody else can prove that this is not, this is not happening, because everybody, and I do mean everybody that works, in the street, or even in the security guard or whatever, they're always buying food for somebody else, because they can't leave their post. And if they can't leave their post, obviously they will have to have their food delivered to them. So yeah, half of the time people know that this, is somebody giving the bribe, but you can't prove it, so you just roll with it. And anyway, that's how kind of is done. But obviously you will have to know the security guard, and obviously you will have to talk about them, previously. You're not going to do that, out of the blue, because you don't have a relationship with this person. And I told you that if you don't have a relationship with this person and you're trying to bribe them, it's going to play a hell, against you. Because if you're doing this and suddenly that security guard is near the supervisor or whatever, yeah, you can cost that security guard their job. And then oh hell no. So no, if you do not know how the hell to do bribing, then you don't. Unless you are with kind of certain and you're very good understanding cues from people, because otherwise you might not get anything, and in fact you might be in trouble. And anyway, when you are dealing with food, you are also dealing with nutrition. And at this point, what you also want to try to do is learn to prepare several oils by yourself, and you want to prepare several spreadings, for the bread, like jams and anything. But they are not just from fruits. You can do this from meat. For example, there are pastes, kind of like the melted cheese that you can use, take with a knife and then spread it in the bread. Yeah, you can do that with certain types of meat that you can put into the blender. So what you want is to try to learn how to do those things, because if you have one steak, and that steak is supposed to be for 7 people in your family, how the hell do you make one steak, be for 7 persons? So either you learn how the hell to blend it and stuff like that, and prepare it in a way that they will all take it in bread, like the spreading thing, which is, it takes a hell of a lot of practice. I can tell you about that one, because you will get it wrong like 100 times. But there will be a time in which you will learn exactly how to do it, and oh God, everybody will love it. Or you get a hell of a lot of vegetables and you cut this thing into very small pieces, like the half of my nail, and then you mix them together, and then, everybody will get small pieces of that thing. So it will be up to you. Because obviously if you are having only one piece and you have 7 people, yeah, that can be tricky. So that's how you do it. And like I said, you also want to try to put names, nice names in the food, because like I told you last time before I got interrupted, thank you for the understanding, by the way, people will eat things, but as soon as you tell them what it is, they will throw up and they will never let you, feed them again. Like you doing frogs, but telling other people that those are chickens. Because otherwise you might not get, this is like a mental thing. There were people that were starving in France at one point, and someone started cooking snails. And, snails and snakes. And when people knew that they were snakes, yeah, they would rather starve to death. And you're like, but come on, this is good or whatever. So what you want is to try to figure out how to market these as exotic or whatever, so that people can even give it a chance in their heads, because otherwise you are wasting resources cooking that thing, and then nobody will eat it. And not only that, but you're going to be kind of upset because other people might eat it and yet your family won't even try it. So, hell, for all I know, you might not even try it. So, if you can't do this, then you gotta talk to, your husband or whoever it is and come up with some sort of way to handle this. And if you do not know how to cut animals and take their skin away and stuff like that, or you get nauseated or something by doing that, you are going to be, in a very hard position, because at this point, when you go to the supermarket, you buy everything already cut and prepared. But that is going to be too expensive. That thing is going to cost you, one tray of that thing is going to cost you the same as the entire animal. So, oh hell no, you gotta buy the entire animal. And if you're going to buy the entire animal, you have to know how the hell to prepare it. And that means that you have to understand how the hell to cut it. You also have to have special knives. The ones that are very thin and small, and the ones that are very special or whatever. And if you are vegan or vegetarian, you might find that this is not for you. So what you want is to learn how the hell to save eggs so that they will last you a hell of a lot of time. For that, you can do several things. You can dehydrate the eggs. You can put the eggs into a container with salt. And I do mean salt. Like, you can't let any kind of air into that container, and you put eggs, salt, salt. And then you move it a little bit, you shake it so that, the whole salt is going down. And the salt will cover the egg shells, and it will not let it breathe. And if it can breathe, it will not go bad. However, you have to know for certain that what the eggs that you're saving are, good. So you gotta know by the taste, by the test, when you put an egg into water, and then, if it is bad, it will go like that, or if it is medium, it will go in the middle. If it is, bad, it will just float and stuff, and if it is good, it will probably, be in the bottom or something. I can't remember right now. I do have that. By the way, if you're like me, that you you always forget this thing, then what you do is you print this into a label, and then you place that label into your microwave or into the closet or something, so that every time that you forget, oh crap, did I forget this thing? I can't remember if it is bad when it is floating or if it is bad when it is in the bottom. Yeah, every time that I do that, I go and I look into the microwave and I look at the picture that I just, have, and then it says, oh, yeah, now I know. So also that label for the eggs will be good for other people. Because here's the deal, 99% of people, especially beginners, will crack the eggs and then place them directly into whatever the hell you're cooking. If the eggs was bad, yeah, you just wasted the entire food. Because you can't have one bad egg into any kind of food, because, yeah, that it will be unedible. Like, really, it will just be unedible. And 99% of people will just do it, assuming that all the eggs are good. And hell no, not all of the eggs are good. So you need to place them, one by one. Either you open them and place them into the cup, and then, you say this one is good, so you try it. You put it wherever the hell you're supposed to put it. Or you do it like that. So if you're going to do it like that and you don't remember, you can't do it or whatever, just print it, put it into a label, pretty or whatever, or write it down and then place it into the microwave, which is, very good. Now, something else that you are supposed to know. I have a video about coffee talk response about pipes and stuff like that. So, yeah. This is like the third or fourth time that I have heard about this case in which, you get propane through a pipe. especially if you're in a building, right? If you're in an apartment building normally, you will have propane through the pipes. If the pipe has a leak, then everybody will shut down their propane, right? And everybody will shut down the propane from the main tank. And basically that means that you will not have access to any kind of cooking with propane through the pipe. And it also means that you now are going to have to pay a hell of a lot of money to have some sort of company or fire department or whatever coming through your building to try to figure out where the hell is the leak and then try to fix it if they can. My aunt's building has that problem right now. So she's not going to have any kind of propane and she cannot cook in her apartment for a while until they figure out where the hell is the leak for that gas. Because here is the deal. Gas, propane will not move. That means that if you have a leak in your apartment and the windows are not open, that gas is going to stay there. And if that gas it becomes a little bit concentrated, it will blow up as soon as you turn on any kind of device. And I do mean just flipping the switch. Oh hell, it's going to blow up. That has happened to, at least, 50 buildings so far. So, oh hell no. So this also means that if this is too expensive, my aunt building, apparently it will cost them about $7,000 or $5,000 or something like that, or $8,000. I don't know how much. But the point is that each apartment is going to have to pay around between $50 and $70 just for finding the freaking leak. That does not include the repairments to try to fix it. If the repairments to try to fix it is too expensive, what they will do is that they're going to shut down that valve and that pipe permanently. If that happens, you need to find a way to cook without propane, meaning you need to have electricity, like an electrical cooker or something. And you're not going to have access to propane anymore, and they are not going to allow you to buy propane or any other thing and have it in your house, because if there is a leak already and you're trying to cook with propane, they are not going to figure out, if there is a major leak from something else, or if you are trying to get access to that pipe. So, hell no. Basically, it will be kind of like a legal issue, and it will be very bad. But the point is that the cases that I have seen about this, what they do is they find a leak. If it is easy to fix or whatever, they will fix it. If it is not easy, what they will do is they will say to every single person in that apartment, yeah, no more propane. Deal with it with electrical kitchen or whatever the hell you're doing. And then they will just do it like that. And they are not allowing propane anymore. So, this is going to be an issue if you don't know how the hell to cook with electrical devices. And it is also going to be an issue because a hell of a lot of people do not know how to cook with electrical devices, and they catch fire way easier because people tend to use a hell of a lot of oil, and when oil is in contact with electricity, it catches fire. So yeah, you're going to be in for a ride if that happens in your place. So you really want to try to figure out a way to deal with this, and that's why you really want to know people how the hell to do things, because your neighbor, if you are very smart but your neighbor doesn't know what the hell they're doing, they're going to burn down their apartment. And if that happens, obviously you're going to suffer. So yeah, this is kind of like one of those things in which you teaching other people, or you sharing information with other people, it is very important, and it becomes a very important aspect. And sometimes the best way to do this is to actually knock on your neighbor's, door and offer them a cup of coffee or tea, and try talking to them, because this is going to be one of those things that nobody tells you, but at the end you're going to have to deal with that. And anyway, I think I have covered several things at once. I am also going to tell you about vending machines. Vending machines require electricity. If the service with electricity is unstable, then most people are going to retrieve the vending machines. If you're used to the idea of using a vending machine for your things, yeah, not anymore, because every time that there is a power outage, or every time that there is a problem with electricity and the electricity goes too high or too low, that machine is going to be damaged. If that machine is going to be damaged, it's going to need spare parts or whatever, and whoever owns it and is supposed to be making money out of it now is going to consider it a loss. So they're going to just shut it down. So you finding vending machines is going to become an issue. You're not going to find them anymore. Also because, if you have problems with cash, not everybody will pay cash for this. And not only that, but if the prices keep changing because of inflation or hyperinflation, then this is also going to be an issue, and you're not going to find vending machines. So if you don't find vending machines, that means that you will have to rely on other sources for buying the same thing. That means that they might not come in a package. Vending machines usually have things in packages. Yeah, now you're probably going to get the same thing from local people that are doing this by hand. That means that they might not have sanitary permits, they might not be doing things, cleanly. That means that they might not be using very nice quality ingredients whatsoever. That means that, you're not going to find out, what that food is or whatever. So at this point, you might need to consider lunch boxes and stuff like that, as I have told you before. And from those lunch boxes and stuff, I have said it before, all the things that you might want to consider, like the size, the type, the colors, etc. So anyway, I hope that this information is helpful, and thank you for watching.